that's also where I got the motto from, real lives, real stories, is why are we creating narratives that are fictional when there's so much to be told still?
Hello everyone and welcome to Chai with Rai, a life and culture podcast diving into the mindset and business of being a creative. I'm your host Raya, and each week I bring you a guest or a fruitful message from the creative industry, all while sipping and spilling some hot chai. Why? Because all good things happen around a hot cup of chai. Now, if you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. If you love this podcast and are listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, or wherever you are streaming this podcast from, if you could do me a kind favor and make sure to rate the podcast down below and share it on your stories, on social, and spread the word. It organically grows the show and connects us with listeners who haven't tuned in before. And overall, as I always say, it just shares the love. Also, if you haven't done so already, you can now become a patron, aka a supporter of Chai with Rai, by signing up on Patreon for £5, or as I love saying it in this accent, $5.50. Each month, your subscription will help support the show, but also get you exclusive BTS footages, that is behind the scenes footages, and some extra juicy bits. I will put the link for the Patreon channel as well as all the other info in the description of this episode, so make sure to check that out. So let's get our cuppers ready. P.S. Let me know what you're sipping on as you listen to this episode, and let's dive into today's episode with some of the cast and crew from Nalini Theatre's recent production of Woman.Life, Freedon. Wow, Bushra, thank you so much for volunteering. It's you're sitting in the center.
I knew you were going to choose, but fine. That's fine.
That's okay. You can do this. It's a game called 5-second rule. However, there is maybe one or two questions in there that might take longer than 5 seconds. So the game is like this. You say 3 things, you do 3 things, you sing 3 things in 5 seconds. So if I was to be like, what are 3 things you do before you go to sleep? You will go,
I brush my teeth. What else do? I check my phone.
so you brush your teeth twice. You check your phone once.
I panicked. What happens to me?
It's fine. It's fine. At least you brush your teeth twice. That's great. I would say maybe calm down on that because of plaque and enamel and situations like that, but it's fine. You live your life. At least you have good, healthy teeth. That is true. Okay, so now this no longer is your trial run, and this is gonna be your actual thing. I love playing this game. It's called Apocalypse, okay? And I've been watching Resident Evil recently, so I think this is even genius. So imagine it's zombiepocalypse, okay? What current 3 skill sets do you have which are gonna utilize you, okay, as an individual, so you're gonna get through this zombie apocalypse and also save humanity? What are your 3 skill sets in 5 seconds? Go.
I'm also fast. I can box a bitch up, and
What was the last one, sorry?
I'm really persuasive. I'm really, really good at just getting people on my side.
Why do people say that they want to do mindfuck games with zombies? You're not going to be able to talk to a zombie.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
All right, whatever. I believe you. You're an actor. Okay. The next section is conspiracy theories. What 3 conspiracy theories are you actually into and believe? Go.
Aliens, UFOs, and yeah, that's about it. Those are the only 2 I can think of. The others are bullshit, to be honest.
Okay. This is your last question. You get a £5 million deal on Netflix, okay? To star in your own show, write your own show. You've created the team. You've got everything together. Fuck the bitches around you. They ain't in the show. You are. No, I'm joking. They're in it because you're a kind person, right?
Yes, I am.
She says hesitatingly. So you've got a £5 million deal. What are 3 things you're spending your £5 million on? Go.
Costume, makeup, and a really good writer.
Nice. I mean, like that all stuff was taken care of. I meant you have £5 million that you've earned.
Oh, let's try that again.
There's gonna be a lot of editing for me, isn't there? All right, go for it. Go.
Go on holiday. Yeah. This is pressure to me. You can't do this to me.
Well done. Give it up for Tara, everybody. Sorry, Bushra. Why did I say Tara? Sorry.
Well, it's okay. It's Tara.
You know what? Speaking of Tara, let's go to Tara then.
Oh no.
You need a trial run, or you feel like you're ready to go into it?
Oh no, let's go.
All right, cool. It's apocalypse. All right, zombie apocalypse. What current three skill sets do you have to save yourselves and humanity? Go.
I feel like I'd be good with an axe. I don't know why. I'm good at cooking, and I'm gonna.
Let's all repeat this together. She's good with an
Axe.
And what else was it? She's good at
Cooking.
Yeah, I like the fact that there's sign language happening behind. Interesting. What's the third thing if you were going to bring a third thing to the table?
Manipulative.
Bloody hell, you and Bushra are dying. This is what's happening. You and Bushra are dying together.
Yeah. I can see it happening.
This is what's gonna happen. Bushra's gonna try and negotiate with a zombie. She's gonna get bitten, and then she's gonna bite you because you're gonna try and negotiate with her. And then the other three, if y'all also mention negotiation, all three of y'all are also gonna be zombies.
All in this together.
Do the zombie version though. All right, this is your last question. £5 million Netflix deal. What is the money that you're spending it on? Three things. Go.
A hot air balloon, a house, a motorbike.
Nice. All right, Addy, do you want a trial run or you're in this? And
I'm fine.
You're fine?
Let's do this.
Okay, cool. Three skill sets, apocalypse, go.
I'll be a zombie first. I can cook.
Jesus Christ.
Well, explain yourself.
I got a machine gun.
You're a zombie and you're gonna cook.
I'm a good actor.
But you're a zombie who's gonna cook after he becomes a zombie?
I don't know, in my own time. Like, didn't you see like Bill Murray in what was that film? Oh Jesus,
Zombieland.
Zombieland. He was perfect. I thought that was the best idea. No one could possibly do.
You know what? You live your best life, is what I say to that. And there's a play in that can be produced. I'm just saying, Alicia. Just say, you want to tell real life stories by real people. Well, this is a real life story by a real person. So next play. I'm just saying. All right. 3 conspiracy theories you're really into. Go.
Aliens. Shit.
What conspiracy theory surrounding shit are you into?
Yeah, did you see the new TikTok video? There's this lady who doesn't wipe her bum. Like, yeah, she goes like, oh, I've stopped wiping my bum now, and because like animals don't wipe their bum, so why should I do it? That is weird, right? Yeah, I know. Even I made that face when I was.
She shower? I'm assuming she showers and cleans it then, or like she has one of those Asian she has a lot.
Oh no, she doesn't. She just doesn't touch it. I mean, after pooping, she doesn't. She prefers not to clean herself up.
So she doesn't shower and she doesn't.
She's American. I mean, to just like put it out there.
Can you send this in the group WhatsApp?
Absolutely, I'm gonna send it to you.
I'm actually not joking. Can you please send this?
Yeah,
I will put this in the link in the bio. I was gonna put
I
was gonna put your fundraiser. Fuck that shit. Put this in there. Sorry. All right. £5 million Netflix deal. Go.
Gonna buy a Ferrari. That's it. £5 million gone.
It's your money. 3 things you had to do, but it's your money.
You live my life, yeah.
So wait, so you spent £5 million on a single Ferrari. You haven't invested in anything. You haven't bought a house, nothing. You've just bought a Ferrari. I just want to get the logic behind it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, life is short. I might just die in that Ferrari. You never know. So might as well just invest in that Ferrari.
You live your life. All right, Alicia.
Oh
You
no.
get to go next. Also, do people ever say Alicia or do they always say Alicia?
All the time. It's actually Alicia.
What did I say?
Alicia. But I think that was just you giving an
So
example.
it's Addy and it's Alicia.
Yeah.
Is it Bushra or is it Bushra?
Our teacher just called me Bushra because she was Irish. I don't know
Oh,
Welsh, but I'm
that's odd.
Yeah.
All right, well, Alicia, do you want a trial run or you want to go straight into it?
No, let's go. Let's go.
All right. Zombie apocalypse, 3 skill sets, go.
I can laugh at anything. I can talk really for a long time. And I can burp whenever I want.
You can what? Say that again.
And I can burp whenever I want.
Explain
That's
when
amazing.
all those 3 skill sets are going to come in handy in a zombie apocalypse. Yeah.
So a zombie's coming to attack me. I divert them with a burp.
Wow.
Another, well, yeah, but it could stink, you know, you never know. So
Oh my
divert
God, what
them
are you
to someone-
eating?
Another one comes to attack me. I laugh so loudly it hurts them. So again, they might die. And then the third one, I can talk. So I'll just talk to
That's
them
the
about how
zombie.
their day's going. Yeah.
Dhanush, if you don't come up with better answers, I'm logging out.
Right?
Swear to God, you're the last person. You better have some good answers for this shit. Three conspiracy theories you're really into. Go.
Okay. Going to the moon and you can eat cheese.
Adi's face says it all.
I'm really bad with conspiracy theories, to be honest.
You're a flat earther,
No,
aren't you?
no, not at all.
You know, somebody who I just interviewed literally before you guys says that they believe the earth is flat.
Oh.
Well, you know, everybody needs £5 million deal. Go.
I'd travel the world, I'd buy a giraffe, and I'd eat all the food I
Giraffe.
can.
Yeah, why a giraffe? I agree. Why a giraffe?
Because I love them. And I've always wanted a giraffe for some reason. Thank you.
I love that.
So I don't like dogs and cats because they jump freely and they lick you whenever they want. A giraffe I find really cute. So I take him on little walks. And I just feel like it'd be my best friend. Yeah.
Where are you putting the leash? Are you putting it on the top of the neck, the middle of the neck, the bottom of the neck, the down area on the where's the leash happening?
That's a brilliant question. I would ask professionals to know where's the safest place for my baby.
I actually want you to get rich now so you can have this giraffe so that we can all see how it either ends up killing you or it ends up being your prized possession.
Either or. I'm so small, it'd probably squash me, wouldn't it?
You know what? There's a play in there. Real life stories by real life people. That's gonna be. I think that should be the title of this episode: Real life stories by real life people. That's it. Dhanush, give me good shit. All right, good shit. I only want good shit. All right, there you get ready. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Do you need space? Do you need them all to go away from the sofa so you can answer?
I know that I'll outdo all of them in front of me.
What does that mean?
They can see me win when I'm in front of them.
You got it. You got it. You got it. All right. Do you need a trial run or you want to go straight into it?
Let's go straight into it.
All right. Zombie apocalypse. 3 skill sets you currently possess to save yourself and humanity. Go.
Craft making, weather resistant, walking for a long time.
All the time. Now, the inevitable question, craft making. How does that help us in zombie apocalypse? Are you going to sew us a jumper or like?
Yes, I can sew clothes when all the clothes have turned to dust. I can make tools when all the metal is melted because of the sun. Like, I can do all that.
I have no follow-up questions. Anybody else in the room want to ask a follow-up question?
No.
Good answers is what we're getting right now. All right, 3 conspiracy theories that you're really into and believe. Go.
Ancient monuments have things we don't know about them. Social media sends you bad content on purpose.
So social media sends you bad content is a conspiracy theory that you believe in.
They send you bad content just so you engage with it more because you hate it.
What do you hate that social media sends you?
I mean, on Facebook, there's a suggested for you post that comes up that from groups I'm not even a part of, and Twitter's For You page is just now full of like influencers you can't even track the source of. So like that's
I want to know specifics. I know I'm pushing, but I want to know specifically what is coming your way.
Yeah.
I've got
That's a
an
secret.
example because I totally agree with you. I
Come on.
100% agree.
Don't jump to help them. They can defend themselves.
Come on, Dhanush.
Go.
Ugh. Okay, so
Show us your FYP page. Go.
the fandoms I hate of the groups that I don't like, their posts come up on my feed.
Such as.
I don't want to say it because I don't want their fandoms to attack me. Sorry.
It's all right. We'll protect you. If it's really shit, I swear.
Like
Is it Justin Bieber's
Like,
army?
those new Disney stars that came out of the High School Musical TV series, and they have all pop careers. Like, their fandoms are boring. I'm sorry.
I only know of like Zac Efron, Ashley Tisdale, and Vanessa Hudgens. Like those are the who are the new High School Musical people?
Do you mean like Olivia Rodrigo?
She's in
The
High School Musical?
anti-fandoms.
High School Musical, the series.
Oh, that's not
You need to get with the
Alright.
kids, man.
For real?
They're a
She
series.
Wow.
They're a series.
All right, calm in the room. Order. Dhanush, your last question. £5 million Netflix series. What are you spending the £5 million on? 3 things. Go.
Travel the world, save sinking islands, and make all the clothes that I want.
What is gonna die away? Fast fashion.
No, I know that I want. So it's not a mass manufacturer.
Yeah, nobody came at you when you wanted to spend it on one single Ferrari, Addy.
My apologies. I never said I want to save the world, did I?
That is true.
I didn't say I want to save the world. I only want to save sinking islands.
Oh, you want to
So
save
that's like
sinking
Pacific
islands.
Islands.
Yeah,
and,
the
like,
Maldives.
no, that's in the Indian Ocean. I'm talking about like Polynesia and surrounding
I see.
islands. Yeah.
But like with 5 million, you're going to be able to do all those things?
Maybe like support them.
Maybe give them 5.
There is £1 for you.
You didn't think practically about this, did you? You were just like, oh, I'll be, you know how everybody's like, oh, I'll donate to charity. You were just trying to do your humanitarian.
Okay, but like at least 100,000, you could like help with further communication, and at least maybe like maybe the communication lines take a while to reach, so it can like help strengthen like the internet connection and stuff.
Alicia,
Sorry,
Alicia. What was Dhanush's role again in the show?
Stage production assistant manager.
I would reconsider certain things for the going. All I would say, it'll be interesting if you were to
Put him on a sinking island.
with a Ferrari maybe, and see if they.
Not mine.
Well, thank you so much for playing that. That was really wonderful. I'm intrigued to know. Let's start with the company first. What game? It's not a funny question. It's actually a serious question. I don't know why you're laughing. Unless your company's a joke, is it?
Oh my God.
It's, you know what it is? It's every time it comes up and everyone just goes.
Interested to know how did the company came to be, and how you came up with the name, how you came up with the logistics of it, how this was the first story that you guys decided to go with, because I know you did a lot of devising. So interested to know how this came to be. So yeah, those 3 questions, and then I'll ask further one.
So we all met, all of us, well, majority actually, except for Addy, met during Act 2 festival. So how it started was Tara brought Woman.Life Freedom to the Act 2. So me and Bushra was cast as sisters. And it was when we finished the Act 2 festival that I realized, number one, Woman.Life Freedom needs to be taken further. But I've always wanted to start a theatre company. And I was telling Tara and Bushra about this actually, that for a long time I thought, maybe it would be about mental health. But we had workshops with Act 2, and they did one about creating your own theatre company. And they broke it down in a way that it's a lot simpler than you might think it is. So then meeting everyone at Act 2, I was like, well, there's such a lack of representation for South Asian talent. And I've experienced that as myself being a South Asian actor. And I finally met other South Asian creatives. So I went to Tara and Bushra, and I was like, I have this idea. Would you be in on starting this? And they were like, yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. Then I met Dhanush, also for Act 2. I was like, cool. So we just brought each other together. And then I said to Tara, would it be okay if we put Woman.Life Freedom as the first play? Because it's such a powerful one. And I think it would be brilliant as our first one. And then Addy came in when we were casting for Woman.Life Freedom for Camden Fringe, because it was an extended version. And that's how we started, really. So with the devising, we haven't even got to that yet. That's going to be our next step. Because we had Woman.Life Freedom, we just went straight in, applied for the Camden Fringe, didn't expect to get it so quickly. So it was a really quick turnover, really quick. So everything was just boom, let's just go. We have this, let's go.
Can I challenge a perception in there, if that's okay?
Of course.
So I'm always intrigued with this, which is the viewpoint of young or people who are coming into the South Asian theatre space with companies like Tara, Rifco, like could go on and on. Do you still feel like your voice, is it the fact that your voice is not heard in that specific capacity? Or do you feel like that there are stories that are just not being told? Like, where does that drive come from? Because I don't know why now in this time and day, and seeing the work that I think South Asian theatre and theatre at large has done to kind of include a lot of South Asian stories in there, I feel like that there's enough of us in there. It's now just about, I say this all the time, having a seat at the table.
That's a very good question, because that reminded me of one of the other main reasons I started. As I said, there's not enough South Asian companies out there. The only ones I knew of was Kali Theatre and Tara Theatre. Those are the only ones. And I was like, okay, obviously we're nowhere near as big and I'm not planning to take over. But I felt that I actually tried to get in with Tara Theatre, and I asked them, is there a rep company or any way to get involved? So I felt like with these companies, there's not many opportunities to actually get involved with them. So that's why I was like, okay, as young people, let's team up together and let's start something. And with the stories being told, I think that's an interesting thing. I think with Tara's one in particular, I've never heard of a Islamic story being told personally. I don't know if that's due to me not being, what's the word? Exposed. That's it. Thank you. Exposed to those stories. But that was that one. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's room for us as young people to tell our side. And as a team, we've got a lot of differences in our specific South Asian cultures. So like Tara, for example, you're
Pakistani Irish.
Exactly. You're mixed, and I was born British. We've got different sides of that. So I think that's also where I got the motto from, real lives, real stories, is why are we creating narratives that are fictional when there's so much to be told still?
Interested to know your perspective as performers as well as like theatre makers. Do you guys feel, I'm trying to phrase it incorrectly, because I feel like the scope of South Asian theatres and South Asian theatre makers is such an interesting space to be sometimes. I've recently tried to create like an archive of South Asian theatre plays that have happened not just in the UK, but across like India, Bangladesh, and like in the US. And there's so much in there, but I have this intergenerational and this cross conversation with a lot of people. Some people don't want to be defined as that, or some people don't want to be boxed in that, and some people want to use it to progress the storyline. Do you guys have those stories? And did you also have that story? Because I feel like there's a sensitivity around Woman.Life Freedom, because it does touch on certain things which I feel like are cross boundaries.
Okay.
Good question.
Well, yeah, I think it's always an interesting question, kind of in terms of who's telling the stories, why we're telling the stories, and also what stories you're allowed to tell in a weird way. Obviously I think it's like very important that the people telling the stories are very well versed and aware of what they're doing, right? But like in terms of Woman.Life Freedom, I myself am not Muslim, and it is very much a story about a Muslim family, and that's very inherent to the story. I mean, I grew up with Muslims, and I grew up with my mum's side of the family is Muslim. But I think, it's really interesting. Anyone South Asian or whatever background you're from, I think it's difficult. I think it's a very difficult line where you want South Asian stories to be told by South Asian people, because we've had a whole history of it not being told by South Asian people and seeing where it fails, right? But also, if that's the thing, I've got a history of TV, right, where we're trying to attach different writers to different things, and in that kind of sense, it is a factor of, oh, we've got a South Asian story, great, let's get this South Asian writer, which is brilliant, but it also means that writer won't be put on, I don't know, like Downton Abbey, and I personally wouldn't mind writing for Downton Abbey. So it's kind of, I think it's important to keep these discussions open about that. And, I personally, like, even the discussions we're having with Woman.Life Freedom, we all come from completely different backgrounds. South Asian is not one thing. And we all had very different opinions politically about the play. And I think it made the play so much better by having these open discussions, and people thinking, oh, my character might think this, or me as a person might think this, might be slightly differently. So yeah, I think that is what I was quite happy with about the whole process of it. I don't know if that answers the question.
No, it does. What about y'all in terms of like performers? And Dhanush, in terms of like production and stage design, I do feel like I feel like there is where there's definitely a lack of South Asian people. Because I feel like you see an influx of like directors all the time, but when it comes to like producers, set designers, stage managers, and things like that, they're so, and I know you perform as well. And I feel like you, from the brief conversation, I feel like there's a writer in you. I don't know if you're right, but yeah, what about y'all on that perspective?
Firstly, there's in production and assisting with production, there's a lot of administrative work that goes into it and a lot of emotional support work that goes into it. One aspect of it is that you need to have emotional intelligence to be able to interact with a lot of people. And there can be a lot of benefit in diversity and people coming from different backgrounds, where if you have that sensitivity to people's backgrounds or an ability to understand people from diverse backgrounds and experiences, that you can be able to emotionally support them better as a production continues. And so for those reasons, if there's greater diversity in, for example, production work, backstage work, then it can also mean personally it can support performers or directors who come from diverse backgrounds.
Bushra and then Adi.
I think for me personally, I always want to tell South Asian stories, because from my acting training background, it's always like a white professor or a black professor telling you what to do. And I don't resonate with those stories at all.
Can I ask something on that, if that's okay? How do you sorry. My voice just cracked. Sorry, I'm like having a coughing fit. I'm interested to know. I remember I did that when who went to Central here? Was it Alicia? Adi? I am always so intrigued with this going through drama school as well. Like the plays that you end up doing are never, ever, I don't know, they're not like, I don't know, even if you're doing Shakespeare, right? It's not like Hamlet or like Macbeth or Twelfth Night or all of these things have like different things in it. And I'm always interested in now being conscious of this, the sensitivity and POCs and things like that, and sexuality and gender. How do we play into those roles? How do we set our minds aside to be like, okay, Mother Courage and Her Children, or like all of these Brechtian and Stavenlust, like all of these plays have like such a one-dimensional thing that they were written for, but we're adapting it on our bodies. How the fuck do we do that? Does that thought ever come into your head? Did you ever have that, Bushra? And then Adi as well?
Always. Like, what play was it? I think it was Othello. And when I first read Othello, it was just like, it was aimed to white actors, and they apparently in the past for the black characters they used to do blackface, and I'm like, that's horrendous. That's so horrendous. So yeah, in answer to your question, I've lost my thought. Fucking hell.
Adi, do you want to take it over, and then maybe that?
Firstly, I'm going to start with you. You mentioned that, we got to seat at the table. Like, as South Asian creatives, we got a seat at the table. It's not just about having a seat at the table. It's about, like, having your voice heard, unfiltered. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just, it sounds very pleasing to the white audience. You started the conversation mentioning, there is this person who got commissioned by National Theatre. That shouldn't be the case. Like, she should be absolutely free to say whatever she wants to say. And I mean, that's the truth, right? And I think we should have that voice and be able to have those opinions and be honest about it. That's what I think. And yeah, coming back to the as a performer, I mean, I went to Central, right? I went to Central and I did 2 productions. Like I did The Tempest and I played Caliban. Like, obviously.
Same! I fucking love Caliban. Do you know? Sorry, I only say that because I watched the Helen Mirren Caliban, and it's like the film version is so much different, and it's my goal to play Caliban at the RSC. Sorry,
with the RSC. I mean, that's exciting. I mean, I love Caliban's character. Caliban is fantastic, I thought. But the thing is, like, when it comes to casting, that, oh, I'm just a brown skin actor. So, oh, the brown skin actor should be playing Caliban. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't feel right at the end of the day. And I'm like, oh, why can't I play Prospero? I mean, is it, I can't do Prospero? Or what's it like? Like, oh, the white characters will play Prospero, or maybe some, I mean, I don't know. Just was a thought at drama school. And also I would like to mention that we also did Blood Wedding, and I was playing one of the woodcutters. Throughout drama school, I would say that I always played low status characters rather than high status characters, which was pretty interesting at my, like, for me as a performer. So I was like, oh, am I always gonna play like low status characters in this world? Is that what my, like, I don't know, what's that term, like
challenge?
When you fit in a box, right? Oh, this is the box for you. And I remember when we had that showcase, I was told that, oh, you know what, Adi, you are more like, oh, Martin Freeman's character. You're a very friendly friend. You're always going to be NHS doctor, or maybe like a corner shop person. I'm like, yes, that's true. I mean, yes, you might as well say terrorist. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I don't know, it just feels weird. And I think we are still like quite far away from that ideal world where I could just be like, oh, you know what, I want to play, I don't know, I want to play Stanley in Streetcar Named Desire, or I want to be the lead in whatever I want to do. And I want to be Hamlet at the RSC. I don't want to be Pi Patel on my life.
I feel you. Interested to know this question, which is, having done the play, did everybody do the play at the festival as well as the Fringe, or did some people just do it for Fringe rather than just the Fringe? All right, so then I'll phrase this question just as this, which is, what was a joyful experience about the entirety of the thing? What was a challenging thing about the entirety of the thing, of the experience? And if you were to go back today, what knowledge or like experience of today would you bring back to that role, whether it is in that specific character or like as a director or a writer or stage? Who wants to kick us off? Bushra, you're always so quiet. Go for it.
A joyful experience from Woman.Life Freedom. I guess meeting Alicia and Tara, obviously.
Aww.
Come on. And also, no, we're the OGs, man. Come on. I guess having that platform to tell, especially a British Pakistani story. Like, you rarely see a play to do with a British Pakistani family. And me personally, I'm from a British Pakistani background, so it was really refreshing. Something that was challenging was the run. It was so short. It would have been so nice to have like a longer run, but unfortunately that was impossible. That's the word. Anyways, and if I could go back and play the characters again, I honestly wouldn't change anything about it. Honestly, I wouldn't change anything.
Tara.
Me? Sorry, Adi. I think it was really joyful to be able to work on something with a group of people that I think really genuinely cared about what we were doing. You know, like, I mean, I have acting friends who had to do plays that they absolutely hated and they thought was trash, which I'm not saying they didn't think it was trash, but they at least, I think, resonated with what the story was trying to do. And I think that really showed in everyone's dedication and performances. A thing I found difficult, I think I learned a lot through it, this whole process. I very much am a people pleaser and I don't like when people don't like things. So I think what I learned was, especially with something like this, you're not going to please everyone. You know, it's either going to be not going far enough with a certain message, or it's going too far with a certain message, you know. And I think it was really interesting to be able to talk as a group with it and then also see people's reactions to it. And I thought I'd be nervous, you know, of showing it to my family, thinking what the hell are they going to think? Are they going to hate it? But really, I think I loved it. I loved being able to see people's opinions and, oh, this could have been like this could be like that. And it gave me so much excitement that it was causing debate. And I think that's kind of what I inevitably wanted. What I'd change, all the actors. No, I'm joking. Same with Bushra, I wouldn't change anything. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything.
How about change? Let's change it to develop.
that's like longer play.
Yeah, just longer. I think is
like an interval in the play, man.
Yeah. I think that was the
It's
feedback I
a
got.
short play. It's 38 pages. I read it. It's 39 pages. I read it within like half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's what we would do, because I definitely cut a lot to try and fit it within 40, and I think it could have. There's a lot of ideas that go on in a very short time, so giving it more space to breathe, I think, would have really helped it.
But I think that's a good thing for Fringe. I always say this to people who do Fringe culture. I think you have to take into account scale. Scale really has to come into like play for it, and you have to leave them wanting more, because for Fringe, you want to be able to develop it, and you rather have something clean than everything just thrown at people. And I think you see that in Fringe as well, and you see that a lot in one-man shows. So I think it's a good thing that you kept it concise. Like when I left reading the play, I was like, it was clean. It was clean, it was cut, and it was edited. I would have liked more development, but I feel like for Fringe, it was clean, it was cut.
Nice, thank you so much. What a compliment.
Go, Alicia. And then,
Oh.
sorry, I'm doing random people.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
Okay.
There's no order. I do apologize, Addy, unless you want to go next and you've got a burning desire.
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
No burning style. I'm just gonna.
God, there were so many moments, but I think there was a specific moment for me, and it was near the end of our run where something just snapped in all of us. And it was literally our last night, our last show, and the dress run was chaotic. We were all like, the motivation was down. There was the most negative energy we've had in months. Like everyone was mad at each other, but I don't know what happened.
I wasn't there.
But what clicked in our characters, it was sparks were flying. Like, I'm not being over dramatic in saying that. And I think that was just really nice to experience. Sorry, I had a moment just thinking about it.
Huh?
What's the next one? The challenging?
Yeah.
The most challenging, I'd say, was finding time for rehearsals. Realistically, where this was Fringe, we're on a short time scale. Everyone has jobs, everyone has commitments. So it was meeting up to get us to rehearse, getting us into one room. That was challenging. And if I was to go back and change,
Develop.
There's two sides, because there's actor and then with I'd say managing everyone getting together, that would be one thing, and letting us kind of build together before we jump into it. Obviously we had a short time frame, but it would have been nice to kind of just meet up and have more relaxed chats before we just went boom straight into it. And as the actor, I personally would have liked to I like to method act, but the way I method act is kind of by using music and little aspects here and there to kind of get into character. So I would have liked to do more research and everyday kind of listening to music to get into her character as a mirror.
Addy, and then Dhanush.
Yeah, I think the entire experience was pretty joyous. And definitely everyone in the group was fantastic. And I think I truly, when I read the play, I think Alicia messaged me on Instagram saying that, would you be interested in this play? And she sent me a script. And I was like, yes, this is an interesting one. I would definitely give it a read. I read the script. I was like, you know what? Let's do this. Like, I would definitely be on board. And I like the story. And I want the story to be told in this current time, and it's the perfect time to tell the story. So I thought this is great and it's wonderfully written. I told Tara that multiple times, and I just felt really honored to be part of this group and with these wonderful bunch of people, and felt special. So, and the challenges that I felt, again, Alicia mentioned like rehearsal times. I'm a person who loves rehearsing. I went to drama school. I was like I need 5-6 weeks of rehearsals. But yeah, I mean, I feel that we could have just done could have done with more rehearsal times and like getting to know each other a bit more before we dived into the actual performance. And I think we needed more runs before we performed on first night. I felt like first night was a bit, I don't know, just I was very nervous on first night. I think I always treat, as an actor, I treat the first 2 nights as very experimental. I'm always like trying to figure things out. I'm trying to figure the stage. I'm trying to figure the audience, because what is this line gonna do? What it creates an impact. Like I've been rehearsing with Alicia, that's totally fine. I mean, we get the idea. But when I say those lines in front of the audience, it's gonna be absolutely different. So yeah, first 2 nights were like completely, they were like I were experimenting. It's completely experimental. And I think on the 3rd night, we really enjoyed it. Everyone was on board. Everyone was like playing it like a tennis match. It was joyous. And I felt we were all alive on stage together. And on stage, off stage, everyone. Like, I mean, I get it that we all were really stressed because I came in because I wasn't present for the tech run because I had a job that morning. I came in and I saw that, oh my God, everyone's like so tensed and oh, what is going on? What is this tension in the room? And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Like, can someone talk to me at least? and we're like, I'm like, oh, come on, guys, it's fine. I can find some feet. Like, get
So
it
you
done.
were that guy, and these guys were just like, fuck off.
Okay. But yeah, I think the final night was fantastic. And I just wish that we had more runs at Theatre Technis. Oh, it's such a beautiful space. I loved performing in that space, and the audience was beautiful that night. I don't know, it was brilliant. I really, really admire that performance. Yeah. And one thing that I would develop is, but yeah, longer play would be great, and longer run. And yeah, if everyone would have been paid, I mean, if you can get like, that is an important factor, as in, because when you are in the industry and it's just like, oh my God, I need to get paid for my work, you know what I mean? And it's just so challenging sometimes. And as artists, and you just need to be like, oh, I'm worthy. If I'm giving my time and my like whatever craft that I'm bringing onto the table and with the group, and just sometimes we feel, as in every artist, every performer or like creative feels that, oh, we should be given something. And I know like we were not in that stage to be able to help us financially, and hopefully in the future we can get it, like, oh, fingers crossed, we can get the money. Give me the money.
I think there should be so much more opportunities into Fringe financially. Yeah, because that's a lot of pressure on young people and the emerging theatre makers who just want to do it. I feel like there should be, that's a lot. There's a lot of pressure on you, Alicia. Like literally, unless you're,
that's why we are just like building the team in like segments.
No, I can only understand that. Like, there's immense pressure in that, and like you want to be able to pay people, but I think like that is that's just Dhanush. I like how every time you have to come for an answer, you do this.
Perfect.
And you come forward at testing.
So one a positive would definitely be everyone was really giving and inviting, and because of that the rehearsals were just really enjoyable because everyone just really spent time to just be in a pleasant mood and give energy that everyone could feel as if they can do this rehearsal, and rehearsals would fly by, not just, even though they might be like 1 or 2 hours long, even though that might seem short, like it felt even shorter because it was just really fun. Something that I didn't necessarily like is supporting with production and stuff. Like there's a lot of applications that we were trying to fill out, and it's like when you fill out applications you're not necessarily getting that much feedback, or then you're creating all this copy for applications and then you spend like 3 hours writing the copy and then there's like no feedback or like there's no support. And then it's like in our Fringe, like we had a whole group of actors, we even had like a director and assistant director, and we had a tech person, we had all these people involved, and even though we had all these amazing people who were committed, like there's still, in order to gain like additional support, you have to put in applications that you need to tailor to each application provider. I even remember with like one rehearsal space, like they were kind of like advertising like, oh, we can access, this is for like emerging creatives, but then I'd sent emails to both of those to both of the emails in the rehearsal space, and like there was no response like at all. And it's like it's very difficult, even though there's all this commitment that's been there. Like, how much more can you demonstrate? How much more commitment can you demonstrate? So that's something hopefully anyway, and something to develop with. I would definitely really like more audiences to watch it, specifically more audiences that were represented in the play. But also like marketing to different audiences can pose its own difficulties. Like, how if you just put a billboard on, sometimes they need persuasion from other sources, and accessing those other sources can be difficult as well.
No, I really was intrigued to like, I really wanted to dive into like how much safeguarding was done into it, or there was no safeguarding because there was bloody much no time, because you really have to dive into it. And I'm always intrigued by this question, so I do have to ask it to Dara and Alicia, which is, whenever I have interviewed for like ADs or like being commissioned, talking about like commission, things like that, everybody asks this question, which is, why this project? Why now? Why you? So I'm interested to know why this project, why now, and why you from your perspective, because I have my personal opinions on it. But yeah, I'm intrigued to know yours.
I mean, in terms of writing it, like I initially wrote it back in December 2022, which was obviously very much in the height of all the Iranian protests going on. But I think it was really interesting to then perform it. Well, I didn't perform it, but for it to be performed like almost a year later. And, you know, we're even saying like a couple of days ago, it was like a year since Mahsa Amini was killed. Yeah, I think it was important to put it on when we did, because it is a thing where these protests happen. You see it all around the world. Like when the Hong Kong protest happens, it's huge in the news for like 2 months, and then people forget anything that was happening. And I think it was important to me to keep that story alive and those ideas alive, because it is so easy to forget about, because when there is no quick fix to a problem, it's out of the news. You know, oh, this bad stuff is happening. Oh, I can't do anything about it, you know? Whereas it's like, no, I think it's important to keep talking about it, and talk about as well with this play specifically why it can affect people who are not directly affected. You know, like, this is not a play about the Iranian situation. This is a play about a Pakistani British family, you know. It's just about what the protests brought up within an individual person, but also us as a collective, you know, what it means when you see your people, whatever that means to you, completely on the other side of the world going through something, you know. And yeah, I don't know, it felt interesting writing it during and then performing it after. I think very different to me, I guess.
Can I ask a question to the room? Because for me, I understood the parameters around the story, but I still felt, and this is what I said in the start, like the development of it, I wasn't, I don't know why, I wasn't sufficed with the answer if we're asking of why she takes off her hijab. Do you feel like y'all got your own answers, or you're meant to feel like you're not sufficed? Because I was like, we've had conversations, we've had these chunky scenes, we've had conversations between the dad, the sister, like the who is he, the dean of the what is
the head teacher, yeah.
Head teacher, sorry, why am I saying dean? Bloody hell. Like, we've had these like chunky moments, and we've had like her inner sort of thing come out at the end as well with the poem, but I feel like there's still a, like, other than the initial scene where the football happens and then change, I don't know if I was like satisfied with the answer.
If I want to add something, I would say that even in real life, when you're interacting with people, you might not always know why they've made the decisions that they've made. And so I feel that this play, because it's such a representation of what a real life conversation is meant to look like, I feel that even for the audience, they have to kind of treat it as, imagine if someone that they knew in real life made a decision. They're not necessarily going to know every single facet, and they don't necessarily need to know every single facet. It's just, how are they going to react? Are they going to react in a supportive manner or in a more critical manner? And this is an exploration of how a supportive manner or a critical manner can mean something to a person who makes a decision.
Spoken like a producer.
We actually had this conversation because I'm quite biased because I played Mira. And I very much relate to her, whereas like I'm a woman, it's my choices. I don't need to explain myself to anyone, that sassy side. But I think it was Yusuf actually who challenged that and said, and Adi, I think it was just most of you guys was just saying that she's a Muslim and she's worn the hijab her whole life. How can she be so defensive? Like, surely she should expect people to question her, because yesterday she was wearing a hijab. Next day she's come to school, or she's seen without one, and she's trying to act like everything's okay, everything's normal.
It's naive.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's something more in there. It's not just about the hijab. That's why I'm saying, like, I have my personal opinions about it, because it's no longer just about that. There's other things in there.
I agree. What I was going to say, I was curious what other people thought before I said. But I think it's really interesting that you brought that up, because I don't think many people have said that. But I think a lot of people have felt it, if that makes sense. Because I do think you are a bit confused, because I think you instantly see it and you're like, okay, yes, I support her. But wait a sec, why? Like, why now? Why exactly at this moment? And I think that, in my mind, I'm not sure if I wrote this with this intention, I don't think she fully knows or understands why. I think sometimes when you make these decisions, there is a lot more underneath it, like you were saying. Is the decision made, does it affect her relationship with Islam? She says it doesn't. I think possibly it does. I think possibly there's questions and stuff going on in her mind. Is it just because she's seen these protests happening? Is it something she's been thinking about for a long time? I've never had it in my family where someone's taken it off, but I've had plenty of people in my family put it on recently. And that's not a decision that happens overnight. Like my aunt put it on and she said, oh, I went to Hajj, so I put it on. I'm like, yes, true, but there's more to it. I think, for me, I don't think Mira knows. I think that's what makes the conversation so frustrating that are happening, because people keep asking why. And she's like, oh, because I want to. It's none of your business. But I think she doesn't fully, she is not fully constructing that yet, I think, anyway, yeah, like you were saying with Yusuf, what Yusuf is saying, I think it's interesting to see whatever she does is obviously people are going to have something to say, have an opinion, because firstly, obviously there is a lot, especially in the South Asian community, about like what people think and what it will look like and stuff, and that's a huge pressure. But there's also an aspect of, it's her dad, it's her sister, it's her husband. They are actually worried about her. They are curious, why have you done something? And it's obviously tonally said in an accusatory way, but I also think underneath there is what is happening. They're genuinely curious, and I hope it comes across as not in the wrong. They're questioning. I disagree with them, but I think the act of their questioning isn't hard to understand. I think you can empathize hopefully with the characters.
All right, we gotta. We only got time for one game.
Another game.
He's
gonna roast us again.
Do we have time for? We gotta play 2 games. All right, 2 games. Give me 2 people that are gonna come to the camera. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna scroll through the script. You're gonna tell me to stop, and then when I stop, I'm gonna give you some intentions, and you have to read it as that. Does that make sense?
Oh, this is fun.
So it's going to be the same script, and it might be a sensitive space, but I might be like, you're drunk in a toilet and you're 2 Irish girls. Go. And you have to read it as 2 drunk Irish girls in a toilet. All right. So since Alicia and Tara are near the computer, y'all get to go first. All right. I'm gonna start scrolling. You tell me when to stop.
As a group? Okay.
Stop.
Tara, you're gonna be Mira.
Thank you.
Yes.
And Alicia, you're gonna be Zayn. Okay, you have to read this as Valley Girls.
Stop it.
Oh my
Valley Girls in space scene. Let's take it from After Everything. Go.
After everything I went through with my parents, I don't get why you didn't think I'd be understanding when you told me.
Well, I mean, you weren't.
I'm Mira. I'm meant to act when it's sprung off of me in front of everyone. Did you think that would go? Like, give me a break here. I'm trying to balance the role of supporting husband while trying not to look like I'm a corrupting influence to your dad, and also worrying about your poor sister who looked like she was about to have a panic attack the whole night.
And scene. Well done. Well
I
done.
love it.
All
You're gonna
right.
do this.
Next two people.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
do this. Yeah.
Addie and
Sure.
Bushra. Tell me when to stop.
Okay.
Stop.
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 Stop. Oh my
God.
God.
Oh, it's two
God.
chunky. It's two chunky monologues of Sophia and Mira.
Oh my God.
Okay, cool. You play. Bushra's playing Mira, and Sophia is being played by Addie. And these are the things that you have to convey to me. You guys are Polish rappers in the Bahamas, and you're hungry. Polish rappers, yeah, Polish rappers, and you're in the Bahamas. It's hot as hell, and you're hungry, like hungry. Okay.
How's the Polish accent?
In 5, do your best Polish
Yeah.
accent. Best Polish
That's-
accent.
That's sweet.
What,
Okay, fine. If it can be Sweden, it's fine by me.
and
Think IKEA.
I know.
Wow.
I'm Polish.
Somewhere out there,
Let's do Swedish.
somewhere out there, people are going to kill you. It'll be the same as if I was to
Oh
go.
my God, I'm gonna get blacklisted, yeah?
All right, 4, 3, 2, go.
And I know I was a bit of a brat, but around that age. Sorry again about that. But then you were wearing that hijab, inspired me to start wearing it too, and get too closer to God and to my family at a time when I feel like I needed that structure, that community. So seeing it today, walking with it, without it, I know it's silly, and I don't mean this is in a way to make you feel bad, because I really do understand your decision. But I just felt betrayed, you know, like you put me on this path, and now suddenly the floor's gone from under me.
Keep going.
You know what? Let's pause there.
I'm bad.
Mira, you go. Mira, you go. Go. Take over, Mira.
Sophia, you know I could never judge you. There is no way in this world that could make me any prouder. But I do get feeling betrayed. Stop. By you. It's just that although I thought I chose to put it on, can that ever be a choice? Like, I can tell you what I think my reasons were, but how can I ever tell you if I was doing that because I thought it would make the hijabi girls like me? Or maybe it was the pressure of having to show the relatives that even without mum, we were still whole. Like, we didn't need to hear input all the right down.
Oh my God.
I just want to say the following. There was no Polish, there was no Swiss, there was Irish, it was Jamaican, it was French, there was no rappers, we were not in the Bahamas, and we were not hungry. That's all I want to say.
Oh.
Well done. You know what? I feel like that was a good game. I don't feel like we need to do any more games. I will end with my final 2 questions, which I do with every single person, which is everybody loves a rant. You love a rant. I love a rant. The next door people love a rant. You get to rant for 30 seconds. However, you must start or end your rant with what the chai. Okay, I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock. State your name before you do it. Who wants to go first? Oh, Alicia, you look so excited. Oh, Alicia, this is your
That was my thing. Go on.
This is your what the chai. Go.
What the chai? Teenagers swearing in school and acting like they're bad. They think they know it. They know it all, and I get they're just kids. But for once, please understand, I'm a human too. I'm just trying to help you. All I want is for them to do their best. But the minute they're rude to me, I want to fight with them. I'm done being a professional, and I get angry, and they make me upset. So where's the well-being for me too? What the chai? What the chai?
Dhanush, you're next. In 4, 3, 2, Dhanush, go.
What the chai? Why are grocery prices skyrocketing out of the world? I can't even afford yellow sticker food. Like, why is a 3-pound pizza reduced to 2 pounds? And I want dessert sometimes. Why is a trifle that I can make for 5p being sold for 1p normally, and the yellow sticker is 60p? I just want to enjoy some strawberry trifle. Like grocery stores, get your act together. What the chai?
All right, Bushra, go. 4, 3. Oh, sorry.
What
Wait, hold
child?
on, hold on.
Child?
3, 2, 1, go.
What the chai? So the other day, right, I'm on my way to meet a friend. I'm on the bus. The bus is running slow. The bus is running so slow that there's a cyclist at the front doing Tour de France. My man's taking his time in the bus lane. Go on the fucking plane. I don't care if it's illegal or what places to go, people to see. Like, and the bus driver, don't even get me started on the bus driver. You are doing a 10 and a 20. A 10
5
and a
seconds.
20. What the chai?
Adi, you're next. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, what the chai? I mean, why is the central line so hot? Like, tell me, why is it so hot? Like, every single time I step on it, I'm like, I'm in an oven. I'm gonna die today. I'm gonna be meat. I'm gonna be a piece of meat. Yes, I'm a good piece of meat, right? So, and it's like, it's horrible. And can't they put like some air cons in it, like, or maybe do something about it? And it's terrible. And the people look fine. They're like having their normal lives. What the chai?
Tara, what the chai? In 3, 2, 1, go.
What the chai is up with people who don't like chai?
Ah,
Invite these people into my home. These lovely ladies have a chai. These two men, nothing. It's rude. You need to just drink. You just need to drink it, whether you like it or not. It's the biggest drink in the world for a reason. You can't just not like tea. You've your ancestors are angry. I'm angry. Just bloody drink it. Like
5 seconds.
Chai.
That was so good.
Your ancestors are angry. That's the part. Title of episode, Your Ancestors Are Angry. Screw real life stories by real life people. Your ancestors are angry. That's going to be the title of the episode. My last question to each of you is, I'm obsessed with joyfulness. What is one thing that makes you feel joyful that you do for yourself? And what is one thing you do for others that makes them feel joyful? Let's go the other way around. So let's do Tara, Eddie,
Hey,
Eddie, Bushra, Dhanush, and then Alicia. Alicia.
One thing I do that's joyful for me is watch too much TV. I just love it too much and it just makes me happy. One thing I do that's joyful for others, I'm sorry, I have to say, I make people tea. It's just a cup of joy, whether you like it or not.
From my ancestors to yours.
okay, so one thing that I do for myself, I go to the cinema and the theater quite often, and I think I just consume a lot of content, and it can be unhealthy. the rate at which I go to the cinema is quite unhealthy, trust me. And one thing that I do for the community, which I don't like, is that I'm a kids party entertainer on the weekends, so I'm Spider-Man and entertaining kids. I think I bring joy in people's lives. And some adults have come to me and they were like, oh, Addy, do you do adult parties as well? I was like, yes, absolutely. I can do some adult parties. What sort of adult parties would you like?
Don't do them. I have done them. They don't end good. I used to be a child entertainer.
Oh my God.
They're sex parties is what they are. But you do, and you do have lovely stories, and sometimes you end up getting great clients out of it as well. Bushra.
One thing that's joyful that I do for myself is skincare. Slap on like a face mask and binge watch Netflix. Love that. What I do for others, especially if any of my girls are feeling really sad during their period, I just Uber eat them like dinner sometimes. That's what I do. That's what I do sometimes.
Very cute.
Dude,
That's something really old.
Thank you guys.
that is actually really thoughtful.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Because they do the same for me. It's really nice. We just do it once in a while.
What do you do for the fellas?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Fuck them. All right, go.
One thing that I do joyful for me is I can cook food and like try new ingredients. So I experiment that way sometimes. And then one thing that I do joyful for others is I can like bake cake. So like I bake mango cake, and so that's something that depending on the occasion I can like bake mango cake for people.
That's a lie.
All right, Alicia.
I don't know why I found this question so hard. Something joyful that I do for myself would take a day out. So if I want to do things, not rely on other people, and I'm practicing doing that, and just have a little day out with myself, and I feel refreshed and I feel good when I do that. Something joyful I do for other people. You said joyful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently nothing. Thank you so much for coming.
I like that.
I really am. Say make them laugh. You make me laugh.
Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you never miss out, and don't forget to rate and comment on whichever platform you're listening this episode on. You can also become a patron and a supporter of the show by subscribing for as small as £5, or as I love saying, $5.50 on Patreon. I will put the information of the artist on the episode and any of the links in the description of this episode, so make sure to check that out. But as of now, I will leave you as I always do. Breathe in and breathe out. Now must go, which means now I must go. That is copyrighted and I will sue. Until next time, stay curious.